What up, Bugles? I want to welcome you to this video and to our Comics Bugle channel, your go-to spot for everything omnibus and oversized. Today we are heading to the gritty street of Gotham City, but this time Shadows belongs to the ladies. Get ready for a perfect aimed high kicks as we dive into the Birds of Prey by Gail Simone Omnibus Volume 1. The cover price is 125 USD and the book have 968 pages. When you pick up this omnibus, which collects Birds of Prey issues 56 through 90, plus a story from a Birds of Prey Secret Files, Batgirl, and even from Batman, you are stepping into a turning point in DC history. What had been a solid by niche title becomes iconic under Simone's span. In many ways, this omnibus is a baptism of fire. It proves that a female-led superhero team can deliver action, depth, humor, and heart all at once. On the cover, we've got a pure Gotham attitude. Front and center sits Barbara Gordon as Oracle, the brains of the operation, surrounded by the lethal allegiance of Black Canary, Huntress, and Lady Blackhawk. Each of them looks ready for trouble, confident, dangerous, and just a little bit smug about it. It's the perfect visual promise of what's inside. Sass, strength, and stylish chaos straight from Simone's unforgettable run. The back cover features individual illustrations of the main trio, Oracle, Black Canary, and Huntress. Beneath them is the bold phrase, kicking butt, taking names, and saving the day, which perfectly sets the tone for what awaits inside this omnibus. Below that, you will find the classic summary of the stories, a list of the issues collected in the book, and the names of all the creators who brought them to life. Speaking of kicking butts, the spine absolutely does that. Another bullseye from DC Comics. I absolutely love this new team omnibus design they've been putting out lately. The book looks stunning on the shelf, especially next to the Secret Six by Gail Simone Omnibus Volume 1. The boards feature two separate illustrations divided by a spine design that matches the one on the dust jacket. On the front board, we get a beautiful illustration of the team with Gotham City's moonlit skyline and flying bats in the background. The backboard shifts to a digital aesthetic reminiscent of the Matrix, showing a holographic version of Oracle surrounded by cascading green binary code. Opening the book, we are greeted by an opening page featuring a badass illustration of the tough ladies themselves. This is followed by the credit pages, listing all the talented creators who work on the collection. Next comes the table of contents, complete with a page number for each chapter, just as we have come to accept. And after a heartfelt introduction from Gail Simone herself, the stories finally begin. The narrative thrust of this volume opens with the arc of Like Minds, where Canary walks into a trap set by the villain Savant, who demands the identity of Batman and inundates Dinah with guilt, consequences, and betrayal. It's not just the fight story. Simone uses this arc as a crucible to test relationships, morality, and the resolve of her characters. Here we see how Birds of Prey under Simone never squander stakes for show. Every confrontation has emotional weight. Then she introduces Huntress, aka Helena Bertinelli, more fully into the team, rather than just a guest star. That addition shifts the dynamic. Canary, Oracle, and Huntress become a triangle of honor, friction, loyalty, and differences. Simone doesn't shy away from contrast. Huntress is a more ruthless, Canary more moral, Oracle the steady anchor, and tension naturally flare. One of the things readers often mention is how the series is funny and flirtatious. Yes, it's healthy naughtiness as Simone herself often balances quips, banter, and cheeky moments with real danger. The birds banter, tease, savage villains with a sass, and sometimes play into the meta-awareness of being a woman in a male-dominated field. Simone has a knack for making the woman feel fully human. They flirt, argue, cry, get angry, make mistakes, and own their power. She doesn't sanitize them. The sensual side never becomes exploitative. It's part of their confidence, their dynamics, and the way people relate. For fans who like the edge, Simone delivers without undermining characters. Under this omnibus, Simone also introduces new antagonists and challenges that become signature elements of her bird's run. One of these standout editions is the 12 Brothers in Silk, a clan of martial artists, each tied to a Chinese zodiac sign. Their arrival brings a distinct flavor of international danger and shows Simone's willingness to weave in a diverse mythos and martial arts elements. Another memorable character is the Black Alice, aka Lori Zacklin, who can usurp the magical powers of others. A wild card whose presence hints at the supernatural potential lurking even in a street-level title. Simone often uses characters like this to widen the scope. The birds aren't just fighting gangs or mobsters, but morally ambitious foes, mystical powers, and secrets that challenge their values. The themes in this volume run deep. There is loyalty under strain. Barbara, Dinah, and Helena must balance trust and independence, alliances and secrets. There is identity and agency. Dinah grapples with her voice, her role beyond being Oracle's lack. Helena fights being seen as a less moral, and there is a power with responsibility. When new powers of dangerous artifacts show up, who wields them and to what and becomes a central tension. Simone is a writer who cares about women in comics being fully three-dimensional, never just accessories to male plots or romantic subplots. She pushes that the bears rescue others and rescue themselves. Lady Blackhawk, real name Zinda Blake, is one of the most unexpectedly delightful additions to the Birds of Prey lineup. Originally a World War II era pilot from DC's classic Blackhawk series, she was brought into the modern team by Gail Simone and quickly became far more than just comic relief. Sure, she's a brash, flirtatious, and always ready with a one-liner and a drink. But beneath that retro charm is a fiercely loyal, battle-hardened soldier who fits right into alongside Oracle, Canary, and Huntress. In Simone's run, Zinda isn't treated as a sidekick or background decoration. She's a fully fledged team member, often serving as their pilot, getaway ace, and emotional glue when tension rises. She sticks around for most of Simone's tenure, becoming a steady presence and fan favorite for the mix of humor, heart, and old-school heroism. Lady Blackhawk might have come from another era, but in the Birds of Prey, she proved that courage and attitude never go out of style. The art in this era is radiant. Ed Benes brings a classic, kinetic, slightly cartoonish but dynamic style that pairs beautifully with Simon's tone. He captures expression, anger, grief, teasing in a way that sells each panel's emotional content. His action sequences have flow and clarity. Many fans compare it to the boldness of good animated style. DC editorial even refers to this run often when talking about character designs. Later in the run, Nicola Scott comes on the board for the final issue Simon's Right, and her precision, nuance, and character faces bring another layer of emotional depth. The interplay of Bennett's expressiveness and Scott's emotive precisions is one reason this omnibus is so revered. Behind the scenes, Simone's take on Birds of Prey was a career-defining moment. Although she didn't create the original team, that credit lies with Chuck Dixon and Jordan B. Gorfinkel, her tenure made the series into a getaway title for many female readers. As she has said in interviews, she felt protective of the characters and deeply invested in their dynamics with her art teams. Her stories would later fuel other Strong's run, Secret Six, Wonder Woman, Batgirl, but many fans still consider this era as the Birds of Prey. In fact, DC itself often cites Simone and Bennett's run as definitive. One nice anecdote. When the Birds of Prey movie was made, Simone visited the set. She described herself as protective. She worried whether the adaptation would feel like Birds of Prey. When she saw a fight scene being shot in a single long take, with actresses doing their own stunts, she said, "And here I become a believer." From a reader's perspective, this volume resonates because it feels alive. It's not merely a collection of action arcs, it's breathing relationships, jokes in the middle of crisis, heartbreak when things go wrong, and real growth. When you turn the pages, you see Canary, Oracle, and Huntress not as a perpetual top woman, but as a friends, rivals, co-parents of a mission, people who bleed and love. For you, the strands of this era, Simon's voice, the art, the smart character arcs, the cheeky edge, shine clearly. The extra section in this omnibus is a real treat for the fans. Over 50 pages packed with behind the scenes content. You will find detailed character bios, design sketches, and layout drafts showing how pages and covers came to life, along with some gorgeous panel breakdowns. While there aren't any variant covers, the book does include an alternate cover from a previous collected edition, an early design concept for this very omnibus, and as a real bonus, there's a full script for issue 84, giving readers a rare look into Gail Simone's creative process and action. And that's all. Birds of Prey by Gail Simone Omnibus Volume 1 isn't just a strong book, it's a love letter to what a female-led superhero team can be. Bold, strong, vulnerable, flawed, and badass. If Birds of Prey by Gail Simone Omnibus Volume 1 catch your attention, you can order your own copy in our eShop, comicsbugle.com. Your friendly neighborhood comic book shop in Europe. Accept of great catalog of collected, deluxe, and absolute editions, epic collections and omnibuses. We guaranteed you eco-friendly Hulkproof packaging, free shipping in whole EU, an option to pre-order your comic book now and pay for it later. You can also split full price to 4 separate payments because we know how expensive these books can be. So check it out, comicsbugle.com. You can find direct links below this video. And that's all. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button so you don't miss out any further videos. In our comment section, let us know what other books or topics would you like to see in our videos. And see ya, Bugles!